What's going on, everybody? All Family Games here, and today we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed and does it really deserve all the hate and the controversy that's around it, and people nitpicking and YouTubers, uh, you know, basically talking negative about the game and all this other stuff. So we're going to kind of be nitpicking at all the negative comments and stuff like that, and I'm literally approaching this with a non-biased opinion, and I'm going to give my honest opinion on Assassin's Creed Shadows and whether or not you guys should really actually play the game or not. So I'm not really all one for controversy. I'm not. I don't really delve into the controversy, but so far from like what I've been watching from other YouTubers and stuff like that, aka like Asmongold and another YouTuber that he has watched that kind of delves into the controversy and all the hate that's been happening with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I don't really agree with the opinion that they're giving on Assassin's Creed Shadows and all the hate that Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting. So let me go ahead and delve into this. So first off, I think it was on the Ubisoft website, and y'all can correct me in the comment section below, that on the Ubisoft website that it state that this was historically accurate, which is not 100% true because no Assassin's Creed game is historically accurate. They use historical characters and historical locations and events within its own fictional storyline, if that makes sense. And Ubisoft has been doing this for since like a while in the Assassin's Creed universe. So we got to kind of delve into this. So we got to kind of understand Assassin's Creed in the past versus what they had said on their website, and then we really just have to kind of understand at this point. So, Assassin's Creed, it's always stated at the beginning of every Assassin's Creed game, if you've ever played one, it states at the very beginning that it is a historical fiction. It's a historical work of fiction, which means that they utilize historical characters, historical events, and historical locations in a fictional storyline in a fictional manner. For instance, let's take for example. For examples. Let's take a look at Assassin's Creed 3, which utilizes the Native Americans, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, the signing of Declaration of Independence, and the Revolutionary War in its own fictional storyline. I mean, this is a game that's over 10 years old that has utilized this, and it was very well received. Another one is Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which again used historical characters such as Blackbeard and so forth, and historical locations like Tortuga, and Nassau. And these were back in the day, these were historical locations, but they used it in its own fictional storyline with Edward Kenway. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm getting at. Is they utilize the same formula within this game. Yasuke, which is he is a historical figure, but was he a samurai? No, he was not a samurai. But they just made him in the game a samurai. Does that kind of make sense? So because there's not really. I mean, there is historical documentation that yes, there was. Well, we'll just say an individual that had showed up in Japan at that time. He was historically documented, but he was not a samurai. So, they used him because there's not really so much information, but he is historically documented in documents. But he wasn't he didn't have a name. He was not a samurai. He didn't really do much. They just kind of mentioned him in a historical document. So there was kind of basically free range to take Yasuke, who was who was documented in history, and kind of give him his own historical fictional story, if that makes sense. He was basically just, let's just do it this way, and that's kind of how it goes. There's even Yasuke, which you can also watch the Netflix series that they came out with back in the day, which also depicts Yasuke. Okay, it even says Yasuke. Not only that, but he was, this ain't the first time that we've utilized, an African samurai. For instance, we got Afro samurai. And then if we also want to talk about the Japanese style hip hop beats that are being utilized in this game, well, that was also utilized in Samurai Champloo, and it was done very well. So I'm not understanding the argument that's being done here. Another argument that's been thrown up, or I guess you say negative comment that's been thrown up, is the assassination within the game, which they've been utilizing. You can't assassinate higher level targets for the past like 5 Assassin's Creed games, but now it's being talked about in a bigger manner. However, not being able to assassinate higher level targets is a complete option, because what I'm about to show you guys here is, so you can see all the enemies around me, which is what I'm showcasing right now. All these enemies around me are within my level parameters, which means that I can go up and I can assassinate them. So I'm about to assassinate this guy here in just a second, which he's a level 20 and I'm a level 22 or 23 at this point. So I do assassinate him. But now what I'm about to do is switch over and show you guys why I can't assassinate another target. So one of the reasons is so I'm approaching this guy. He has a skull next to his name, which means he's way above my level. So that means if I try to assassinate him, I cannot assassinate him. However, what I'm about to show is that I can actually go in here no matter what my level. If I go to difficulty tuning, I can go to where it's called guaranteed assassination, which means it doesn't matter what level they are, I'm guaranteed to assassinate them, which is how the old Assassin's Creed games were, So I'm literally about to approach a target. He has a skull. He's clearly way above my level, and you're about to see this. And I'm going to assassinate him. I'm going to walk up. I'm going to assassinate him, and I'm going to let this guy kill me to show you, hey, they're way above my level. I'm technically not supposed to assassinate him, but because I turned on the option of guaranteed assassination, it doesn't matter what level he is. I'm going to assassinate him regardless. So that was one of the arguments that was stated in a YouTube video. Oh, it's an Assassin's Creed game, yet I can't assassinate who I want to. Yes, you technically can. You have the option to turn that ability on. It's completely optional, whether if you want it on or off. If you want it to be oh, they're above my level, so I cannot assassinate them, it just adds difficulty to the game, is what it does, or adds an element of oh, now I'm involved into into a combat system. That's where it's not really going to make any sense to me. I'm sorry, but I'm just basically coming through here telling you what some of the YouTube videos I've came across and what their negative opinions about on the game are, and then I'm basically just going to turn that on your head, because here's the point being, I just showed you there's an option to turn on guaranteed assassination no matter what the level is, which is what you could have done in the old Assassin's Creed games as well, which is assassinate any target you want to, for one. Two, we also have to talk about the AI system. So far within the AI system, there's been a lot of talk the AI is just walking around stupidly. Well, I don't know. I haven't really, seen that in the game, because so far it's I just haven't ran across it. I apologize. I'm sorry, but I haven't really had any bugs or glitches with the AI system in the game or against enemies and so forth like that. Another thing that was a big negative opinion upon the game is the optional same-sex thing. Again, that's been depicted in multiple video games, such as Boulder Gates 3. Again, you had same-sex option, along with I do believe, Dragon Age Inquisition also had same-sex options within the game as well. So, this isn't the first time it's been utilized in video games before. So I'm trying to understand, why is it an argument now? So then there's this, the whole controversy is the anti-woke community or anti-woke thing that's happening. Now, again, I'm totally with this. I'm totally anti-woke. That is totally upon me. I don't believe that video game developers should be pushing their personal ideology or controversial ideology into video games. I think it needs to be completely optional, or just leave it completely out, so that way you don't get a negative reaction. But the negative reaction that Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting, I think, is a little over. It's overreacted. If you want my honest opinion, it is overreacted because the thing is, this is just like any other Assassin's Creed game that I've played. It's getting so much hate for what reason. I'm not 100% too sure. Again, I don't keep up with a whole lot of controversy and stuff like that. I'm just giving so far from what I've read and what I'm seeing. Like, this game was getting hate way before it came out, just because of the little gameplay footage that was shown or yada yada yada. So it got so much hate before the game was even released or even dropped, because Ubisoft gave out, I'm not going to lie, some false information, which that's a mess up on Ubisoft's part. Ubisoft messed that up. Ubisoft messed it up. I mean, you can't sit there and say that they didn't mess up, because they did. They messed up majorly. And another thing is, like, upon arguments on a lot of these YouTube channels, like, they show statistics, but the statistics are coming from only Steam. Oh, like, look, there's only like 53 concurrent players. Okay, that's 53,000 players on Steam. You're not talking about the Ubisoft launcher. You're not talking about PlayStation. You're not bringing up Xbox. You're not bringing up other statistics within that parameter. You're talking about the only launcher that you're having access to, which is Steam itself. A lot of these YouTubers are bringing up statistics of how many concurrent players are on a game, and that is, they're basically using Steam. But Steam is not the only launcher. So you're throwing your argument and making it invalid. You have to look at it as a whole. Just because there's nobody playing it on Steam doesn't mean ain't playing it on the Ubisoft launcher. Doesn't mean ain't nobody playing it on PlayStation. Doesn't mean ain't nobody playing it on Xbox. Look at it as a whole. You can't just utilize, oh, there's like 15,000, current players on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and like within the last 15 days there was 21,000. Cool, but that was just on Steam alone. That's just on Steam alone. We're not talking about the other systems. We're not talking about the other launchers. We're talking about just Steam alone. So, that goes back to me. So, again, Ubisoft has utilized optional stuff for the last several games that they've done, from Far Cry to Assassin's Creed and stuff, where they allow you to play the game the way you want to play it, no matter how hard or how difficult you want to play it. They give you that option to play it. Like, they're trying to make the game as optional as it can be, and yet you guys are getting mad about that. See, one of the older negative things that we used to get from games is we want more options. We want more options. So now that we get more options, now we're like, I don't want these options. So why is that? I mean, I enjoy it. I like to have the option of either mowing through my enemies or I have to play it stealthy. I can play the game how I want to play. Nobody's forcing me to play the game how I want to play. And that's where I'm getting at. So, like, you play the game how you want to play. I play this game how I want to play. If you want my honest opinion, the graphics on the game are I actually love the graphics on the game. The combat system is super fun. I like the decapitation, the agility that Naue has versus the brutal tank that Yasuke is. From being able to, like, slash down multiple opponents with Yasuke to, like, sneaking around with to Naue. Like you gotta understand, they're giving you versatility here. They're wanting you to be versatile with the way you play the game. Sure, you can mess with the settings and just completely go in with Naue and decimate an entire castle on your own with Naue, or you can play it stealthy. It's giving you that freedom. It's the same thing with the same sex option with Yasuke. It's complete freedom. It's your option. It's choice. It is a choice. So you're giving this freedom and you're giving this choice and you're complaining about it, I'm not understanding the argument or the negativity that this game is withstanding. That's where I'm a little lost. Sure, a lot of reviewers such as IEN and our big top dog reviewers, they get paid to give good reviews to shit games. I'm not gonna lie, they do. Because a lot of our reviewers, like, who used to be good, such as like IGN and GameSprout and stuff like that, or I wouldn't say GameSprout. I guess they still give an honest opinion, but anyway, we'll just say reviewers. Period. A lot of reviewers, they get paid to give good reviews to shit games. If a game is shit, a game is shit, and that's what I'm here to tell you. Assassin's Creed Shadows is not a shit game. I'm not getting paid to tell you this. I'm literally telling you my honest opinion. Assassin's Creed Shadows, give it a try. Give it some time. Don't pick it up and play it for 10 fucking minutes and set it down. Play it. Give it a chance. I guarantee you, it's fun. I mean, I'm literally showing you the combat system right now. This is the combat system in the game, and I have no problem with it. It's flashy, it's cool, it's brutal. I like it. I think it's fun. I like killing people on this game. I have no problem with it, and I think it's cinematic, and I like the storytelling, and I like the way the environment is. You know, it's the same thing as like why I like Ghost of Tsushima. I like Ghost of Tsushima. I love that game. Okay, it's one of my favorite games, and I have to say this is up there on par with Ghost of Tsushima as like one of my favorite games I've ever played. With the freedom and the choices I get to make of how I really want to play the game. Same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. If I wanted to run up into a base and completely decimate them as a samurai, I definitely could. If I wanted to go toe to toe with people, I could. Or if I wanted to play it as like a ninja or a shinobi, I could. You know, go up in there stealthy and stuff like that. This game gives you the same option to do that. If I want to run up in there and I just want to decimate the entire castle or camp, I can. But if I want to play it stealthy, I definitely have that option. You just have to go to the options menu and, you know, go into some fine tuning and play the game how you really want to how you want to play it. You know? And that's the way you have to look at certain things. You know, you have the freedom, you have the choices, make those choices. But like some people have picked up this game, played it for 10 minutes, and then put it down just because a bug happens or a glitch happens. No game is perfect. There's in a perfect world, a perfect video game comes out with absolutely no bugs or glitches to the game whatsoever. But to say this game is not fun, you're blindsiding yourself. That means you're nitpicking so much and you're basing yourself off of so much negativity that you're blindsiding yourself to, is the game actually fun? The game is fun. Is it like the best of the best? No, I can't give this game a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. The most I can give this game is like a 7 out of 10. To be honest with you. If I'm brutally non-biased opinion, it's a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 if we're talking about the combat system, because I like the combat system. Being able to do my combos, switching up stances and posture breaks and stuff like that, I like it. The story, you know, again, that brings it. The story is still good. The story is still good and stuff like that. Is there some issues? Yeah, that's why it brings it. In my personal opinion, that's what brings it down to a 7 out of 10. But other than that, the environment, the graphics, the gameplay, the combat system, the story, you know, it's really good. But there's some things that just, you know, brings it down to a 7 out of 10, and you know, it's just small things. But other than that, to say it's a bad game or it's completely shit, you can't even say that. See, the problem being is right now as a gaming community, we are nitpicking on video games themselves so much that, and I understand why we're doing this, because video games are, you know, developers are now charging us $75 for a brand new video game. But you also have to understand the money that's going into these video games. We're talking hundreds of thousands to millions, to even with Grand Theft Auto 6 going into the billions of dollars range. So understandably, I can understand why prices have gone up from like, $60 to $70. I can understand that a little bit, you know. But we're also sitting here asking for better graphics, better gameplay mechanics. We're also asking as a community more out of the developers for much less money. Is that does that make a little bit more sense? We're asking more out of the developers for much less money. If we want more, we need to pay more. But I also understand I'm not going to pay the money if the game's crap. Don't sit there and sell a game for $75 if it's crap. But then that's where we have to get our honest opinions from reviews. And then that's where it falls within us as a community, or us in the gaming, or would it be gaming industry or gaming community? I'm not really too sure on where you would depict reviewers. Okay, reviewers need to give it their honest opinion about the game, not, oh, let me give a good review because I got the game for free, or let me give a good review because the video game developers are paying me money to give a good review. No, that's not how it needs to go. There's a reason why back in the day we had alpha and beta testing that was happening for certain video games. We even had demos come out for video games so that way people could play the demo and then give a response to the developers on what things need to be fixed and so forth. However, we don't get that hardly anymore. We don't get demos and stuff like that anymore. Video game developers don't really produce that. So is it kind of like, so basically where my argument is laying is that it kind of lies between the industry, the gaming industry itself, and us as a community. We're attacking each other instead of trying to work together to make something better. Stop attacking each other. Let's try to work together. But it also takes two to tango. It's a 50-50 street. It's a two-way street. Not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. If we can't get no work with the gaming industry is going to fail. But we as the community also are going to lose our developers. Does that make sense? The gaming industry and these big corporate businesses such as Ubisoft, EA, they're firing their employees for fucking shit reasons. But we as the gaming community are also shitting on the games and the gaming developers that we like so much. I played numerous of Ubisoft games. I've been playing Ubisoft since the original Assassin's Creed, since Far Cry Primal Instinct. I've been playing Ubisoft for that long. I've played almost all the Assassin's Creed games except for Assassin's Creed Mirage. I've liked every single one of them. I enjoy every single one of them. So, but if you want my honest opinion, with Assassin's Creed Shadows is definitely, I would have to say, a solid 7 out of 10. It's a good game. It's fun. Should you pick it up? Should you play it? Absolutely. It's going to, there's plenty of stuff to do in the game. And the storyline's great, and the combat system's great. I enjoy the game. I definitely recommend playing it. Anyway, guys, this has been All Family Games. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.